We back.
And
we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back.
Roll those cameras.
You gotta be like, we had to leave to go pay the bills.
Had to pay the bills.
Had to
pay the bills. Okay, so the names, we got that. I got to get back on this word you mentioned, meditation.
Yes.
I'm a big advocate of just really nourishing your spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Actually, this platform that I'm building right here, that's the side that I kind of want to tap into. You know, a lot of people kind of talk about, you know, business in itself. It's like, far as like building your brand and stuff like that. But I kind of want to highlight conversations around like how you feel like throughout the process. Like, are you tapped into your soul, your spirit? Like, how you nurture that?
Oh,
because I think to me, entrepreneurship, it's mind, body, soul.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we tend to neglect, you know, sometimes all of that.
Okay, I agree. So what's your question?
So how do you, when we think about mind, body, soul, how do you keep all that balance while working, while having a business?
How deep we going? We going deep?
We in the rabbit hole.
We in the rabbit. Let me take a sip. Listen, y'all. We about to go. We about to get deep.
Go down the rabbit hole.
Okay, so I agree 1000% that entrepreneurship definitely requires you to have synergy between mind, body, and soul, because it takes a certain sense of fortitude to be able to withstand the obstacles that come your way with entrepreneurship. You know, I don't know, like, you remember we were younger and they had that like ninja like reality like show. It was like American Ninja or something. They would go through these like obstacle courses.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
It was hilarious.
I think it still come on too.
Does it?
I think so.
Who's signing up for that? Y'all sign.
Hey, I would do that.
You would?
That's fun.
Oh my gosh, I would.
I think you can win money too.
You do.
I just do it for the fun of it. That's fun. I think I can win.
And I remember, like, it used to be before it became mainstream. It was I think it was like Asian. Like it started over there.
Okay.
And so like it used to be subtitles, and you would hilarious.
You talking about Wipeout?
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm thinking about American like Gladiator or something.
But American Gladiator too, same.
I do Wipeout too.
Both of those.
They still come on too. It's funny.
But that's entrepreneurship, right? It's constantly like having different things thrown at you, mentally, spiritually, like everything. So I'm gonna tell a story real quick.
Okay.
And how, to answer your question, how I had to kind of go through my journey. I view life as a spiral, right? So we're constantly going through evolutions where sometimes you're on that high curve, you're feeling good, everything's going great. And then the way that I perceive it is that something happens. An experience, a situation happens, and you have two opportunities. You can take the positive route and look at it, or you can go down this negative path.
Okay.
But you choose. And however you choose, kind of, it accelerates, how quickly you get back into that higher state of being, right?
Okay.
And if you are growing up, or if you need to circle back and hit that same experience again so you learn that lesson, right? So that's how I kind of view life. So personal experience, launched a business 2020, everything's going good. People are loving the wine. I'm like, yo, this is amazing. I have taken my dream and like officially brought it to fruition, you know, like legally too, you know, like it was actually like okay, cool, like legitimate. This ain't just Uncle Sam. Like I got a winery. High, right? Just elevation. Everything's going good. I'm feeling good, you know, like I have, and I'll talk about it in a second, but I have like my meditation practices that I do. And so I'm on this wave.
Yes,
and I'm a strong advocate for law of attraction. So I do believe in law of attraction, manifestation, all that, right?
Yes, indeed.
So I'm going through all this. Everything's going good. And then I get a letter in the mail. And short version of a very long story, I got sued. I got sued by a company that has a similar name to me.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I have been in business for about 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah.
Social media, you know, I'm a marketing director. So,
Okay.
you know, I do marketing by day.
Mm.
And so, you know, I have built this brand. My meditation, my manifestation practices have built to this brand, and I'm on this trajectory to move forward. And I get hit with this lawsuit. And what I didn't realize was that I manifested that lawsuit. But I went down the negative path. I freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, how this company find me? I can't, like, this isn't even a real case. Like, it's just all these like negative thoughts came in. And so I had to stop business, like a cease and desist temporarily, for a couple months. And that blew my whole, it blew my whole vibe. You know, I got completely off track, and I felt it. You know, I felt it because I wasn't in alignment, and just things weren't flowing the way it was supposed to. And I wasn't, like, naturally, I'm just a very like effervescent person. You know, I wake up joyful. I really do. Like, I'm just a happy person because life is beautiful. Life is great. And we should be happy. Happiness is a choice. But all that aside, like, I just was in this rut, and it didn't occur to me until after the fact, or I should say, because it's still, you know, going through. But one, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, like, was like, you good. You don't put any more negative energy into this. You're going to come out on top of this. Mm-hmm. But you have to believe that. So I had to believe and trust in myself that this was a moot point. But the beautiful thing that I didn't realize until later was that, dang, Nicole, you were on such a high. You were manifesting this $1 billion business, that this company that is truly a bigger fish in the sea than you saw you as a threat and was trying to stop you. But the entrepreneur in me, the spirit in me, was like, oh no, we're not going to stop. We're just going to pivot. And thus her wine was born. So it wasn't a stop. You're not going to stop the show. You're not going to stop this grind, this hustle. I'm going to pivot and create something else even more beautiful. And so what I had to acknowledge was that there was a reason why I went through that. There was a lesson in it.
Absolutely.
You know, if you think about it, I had a friend who told me, you know, she was like, you think Oprah don't get sued? You think Bill Gates don't get sued? All the time. And I was like, so she was like, the higher you grow, the more people are going to come after you, because they're going to see that growth, and they're going to try and take it. But what are you going to do for that? So it took me having to reevaluate the situation and put different lenses on it to be more positive than negative, for me to turn that situation into, you know, something that was beneficial for me. So I say all that to say that, you know, I had to reset my spirituality and my spiritual practices. I had to get back into my zone. So for me, it took me, shout out to Social Hour. So my Lisa, she is the curator and creator of Social Hour, but she also has a life coach program as well. And her program helped me to reset. And I had to do this before in life as well. So I'll have these periods where sometimes, you know, I have to have an external force, you know, kind of help me kind of rebalance. And honestly, a lot of it was just her, like, asking questions, you know, and helping to kind of guide my mind frame as far as, like, why do you think this is happening? Or what do you need to do to reset yourself? But sometimes you can't do that within your own bubble. You have to allow a trusted source who has that like energy that you can, again, trust to be in that space and to protect your energy to help get you back on track. So that was one thing. But I'm big on just taking a moment to meditate. I'll be the first person to say, in the hustle and bustle of corporate America, especially when we had to move into like working from home, so now I work remote, I would literally wake up, my alarm would go off, and immediately, like, I jump out of bed, brush my teeth, get dressed, and go straight to work, like into the living room. You know, there was no pause.
Transition. You gotta ease into that thing.
Exactly. You have to ease into it. You have to have that moment of like, okay, let me do like a 5-minute meditation to get my mindset correct, because that's going to help me to be a better performer today in general. No matter what the challenge is, if you start your day off in the positive mind frame, it works. You know, working out, that's a way for me to kind of just get my mindset. You know, 30 minutes is nothing crazy. People be like, oh, you work.
You can do a lot in 30 minutes.
I do a lot of 30, 15 to 30. Let's be honest. Okay. Sometimes I go in there, I'm like, we just gonna hit this treadmill. Good, walk 5, run 10. That's it. That's all you got.
Do you put it on the incline at least though?
At least like a 2 or 3.
Okay, that ain't bad.
Maybe a 4.
Yeah, okay. 15 on the incline. That's about like 30.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. So it balances, but you know, something to kind of get the body flowing, get the mindset. I have this. I have certain music that I listen to. I literally have a playlist called Manifesting My Inheritance. And it's just certain songs like, you know, I Get Money, 50 Cent, Guap, Big Sean, you know, Deserve This by Big Sean.
Yes, Big Sean got a lot of good.
Big Sean.
He inspirational.
Yes.
He's tapped in.
He's tapped in. And if you really listen to the lyrics of what he's saying, as you grow through your evolution, you start to resonate with it a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
A little bit more. I have some gospel in there, you know, like it's a you know, a compilation of a lot of different music that makes me feel good. So, you know, I incorporate that. And then this year, the lesson I had to learn was prioritizing myself. Okay. So I realized, you know, through my personal experiences that I would constantly put myself on the back burner to the point where I would burn out faster because I was pouring from an empty cup. Because I was giving, but I wasn't doing anything to prioritize myself, to refill myself. And you have to know the things that bring you joy. I don't think, you know, I had to ask myself the question. Literally just sat down one day, glass of wine was close, and I said, what makes you happy? Just write down what makes you happy. And the sad thing was it took me a second because I had to really think like, damn, Nicole, what makes you happy?
Yeah.
And that sent me on this journey of joy. So I intentionally said, every day I'm going to do something big or small that brings me joy. Not just happiness, that just makes me feel good. Like, what brings me joy, where I'm just overwhelmed? Because I realized I had forgotten what happy felt like. And that is not the place you want to be in.
I bet.
And how are you going to manifest? How are you going to attract more beautiful, good things into your life if you aren't even happy with where you are and what you have in this current state?
Your vibration gonna be low.
It was. And so it wasn't until I started being intentional with, you know, being appreciative, showing gratefulness, and then actually striving and doing things daily that made me happy. When that happened, things went back into that beautiful cycle. Everything is just like back on that high vibration again. And you find that things just naturally attract themselves to you. Like randomly, at my company, they randomly gave me like 4 suite tickets to a concert. And I was like, what? You know, wasn't looking for nothing, but I was just on this like vibration now. You know, I got tickets to the Falcons games. I'm good. I'm going to different places, and it's not me being, you know, doing anything other than just continuing to do things that make me happy. So waking up intentionally saying, you know, I have several affirmations. I am an advocate for affirmations.
Okay.
Huge. If anybody's ever seen Being Mary Jane, I'm being Mary Jane. I have sticky notes all over my house with different like affirmations that are declarations for how I feel or things that are coming into my life. So I'm really big on that. But yeah, between affirmations and just meditating, I believe that, you know, daydreaming is a really great way to visualize your future. Sometimes I think people take it for granted, but take moments. Like meditation doesn't just mean like sitting in silence and zen and listening to music in the background. Like sometimes, right? It doesn't have to be like that.
You're right. You could be meditating right now.
You can be. I think that's what people don't understand.
Mindfulness, yeah.
Mindfulness, exactly. You know, reading certain things. Like I'm very intentional in what I digest. Whether it's, you know, I don't look at the news. I don't. Honestly, for the longest, don't judge. I was getting my news, especially during the Trump era, through SNL. Like, I had to use comedy to digest all that was going on over there.
Okay.
You know, like that was my way of like understanding what was going on in the news. But
okay,
I realized that what I digested and, you know, the information, like that impacts your thoughts as well, you know, and how you feel.
It can, for sure.
So you have to be, you know, really intentional on the things that you're surrounding yourself with, the people you surround yourself with, like all of that is a part of your spiritual practices. And so
You're right.
I had to just do a 180.
That's real. Basically what you described, I came across this concept. I'm very in tune with just the realm of personal development.
You need more.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yes, personal development. I feel that.
Really? I think I did network marketing. I did Word Ventures. I don't know if you heard of Word Ventures.
No.
It was like a travel network marketing company.
Okay.
I think I got into that around 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Made a little money in it, you know.
Nice.
But the experience is what got it, yo. Like, because I never, it might sound crazy, or ignorant maybe, but throughout school, I wasn't really a big fan of reading. I think it was because what I had to read for school, it was just not, it's just cool, but
yeah,
it didn't really hit my spirit like that. It wasn't until I got into that network marketing company, they put us on like the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like the Millionaire Next Door.
Yes.
I was very fascinated by it. Yeah. I was reading, I got on to the point where I was reading one book a month.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I'm a researcher, like above any, I'm just research. So I love to learn.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, when I was in corporate, you know, got the 9 to 5 still, where I was like, man, I can't keep burning. I can't burn myself out twice. I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm trying to do time management.
Right.
But I felt like it was a little deeper than time management. Yes. So did a little research, came across this concept, and even this book, it was around, it's not verbatim, but it's not time management. Don't manage your time, manage your energy.
Facts.
Once I tapped into that, yo, when I did like a daily practice of just managing my energy, I didn't have, because usually, you know, you have that like low point maybe after lunch. Yeah. That depends on what you eat too. Like energy may dip a little bit. Yeah. But man, like even now, like my energy pretty much stays. My energy don't really get too low because I know how to manage it through like certain practices. Like I do breath work. Yes. Getting sunlight, walking, exercising, eating right, and diet.
That has a whole
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah.
I feel like when you feel good, a lot of those things you want to do because you want to continue to feel good. Yeah. You know, like eating right, working out, you know, breathing exercises. I don't think a lot of people realize how much tension we hold in our torso and how, you know, just taking a second to be like, deep breath. It's so weird how it just relieves so much pressure and you just have to be like, okay, I just need 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever.
That's it.
Just take a breath. Three breaths. But it makes a difference. I feel that. Breathing is, y'all.
Yo, I'm an advocate. Anybody that really know me, I guess over the past maybe year, I'm an advocate of deep breathing. Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah. A lot of times before my shoots, we breathe.
We didn't do that.
We didn't, but it wasn't really a need because it was like, I feel like we just naturally kind of came into it. Yeah. I usually really implement the breathing when it's like people rushing to get here. I can tell that people are like not settled. Yeah. That's when I say, let's take a few deep breaths. But today, you know, it didn't even really hit my mind to do it because I didn't feel like it was a need. Yeah. But yes, breathing, breath work. I do it twice a day in the morning before bed. 10 deep breaths. Nice. Yeah, each time. Yeah. And yo, it makes a difference, yo. It literally feels to me, I can literally feel myself getting energized.
That's real.
They say energy, you know, people call it prana or chi. It circulates throughout the body through the breath. So a lot of times when things are trapped, you might you know, like you said, you got the tension in your stomach,
Yeah.
tension in your shoulders, your neck.
Yes.
It's trapped energy a lot of times. Even emotional energy gets
Yes.
trapped.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so you got to move that through. Take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
Circulate the energy, y'all.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, again, especially speaking to people who are kind of balancing corporate and their entrepreneur aspirations,
Mm-hmm.
in between, you have to find your thing that lets you reset.
Facts.
So, like for me, working from home now, so it used to be that I had separation of church and state.
Okay.
Right? So I was able to go to an office,
Yeah,
and then my home was my oasis, and I was unapologetic about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is peace when you walk through that door. But working from home now brings the stresses of work into my personal peace. So it took me a while, to be honest, you know, to kind of get into a zone and to find my zen. And I found that my practice is when I'm done with work, I have to take a shower. I literally have to wash the day away. And I'll do my breathing exercise in the shower. 5 minutes, it don't take long. Just, you know, it's just I just want to wash this day away. I have like on YouTube, it's like a 5-minute guided meditation. And I just go through, and all they do is breathing. You know, they just like focus on this, and it's just very calming. But it's something about that environment, and I'll take a shower in the dark too. So it's random. I know.
You want some other stuff?
I know.
Okay.
This is a midday. It's a midday shower. It's a midday, like it's intentional.
I've done that
I'm just
though.
trying to.
I need to do some more research on that, but yo, that's like a thing.
Is it?
Shower
it just makes okay, dark shower. It's something about water. I'm always drawn to water.
Okay.
Right, and so something about just that act of just washing everything. Take a breath. I come out, and I'm like, all right, time to pivot. Wine work. Let's go. I'm ready.
Pivot. See, that's key.
Yeah.
That's how I really was able to avoid burnout when I was working and still doing the business. I call it debrief. So you ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
So he got this book called Awaken the Giant Within. Yeah. I let somebody borrow it years back, but you know when you let somebody borrow a book, you let somebody have the book. So pretty much. Need to buy that book again.
I think I have that book.
Okay. That book is like a Bible. It literally looked like a Bible. It's like, it's thick.
It's thick.
But that book, man, I think I got through maybe half of it. But look, it was so many gems in it. He mentions basically life is a series of state changes. So when you at work, you in a different state. Like you're talking to, even like your mannerism, your tone, you in a different state of work.
Yeah.
So when you get off work, people, a lot of times we still have that residue on us.
Yes.
And it goes into our eating. It affects our sleep.
Yes.
It affects our family. Weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got in the habit of, okay, when I log out of work, I need to have some type of transition where I'm changing my state to enjoy my evenings.
Yeah.
So I would go into my in my room. I got like a separate section. It's a sunroom.
Yeah.
But at night I call it a moon room.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So whatever time it was, if it's, I go in there and I lay down, take my 10 deep breaths.
Yes.
Just focus on my breathing. But I call it a debrief. Like I debrief from the day.
Yeah.
But usually it's like, it depends on how much I got to do and how much I need to debrief.
Yeah.
It's usually between 20 and 45 minutes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, but after that though.
Yeah.
I'm recharged, yo.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, I'm ready to tackle the second part of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that. But one thing I would say, and this is more so for people who are kind of unsure about meditation, because I think there's different misconceptions about meditation, because there's like, people just think like yoga, and I'm like you said, like it's supposed to be this hum and zen and all that stuff. Meditation can come in any form. Sometimes I blast music and I will have a mini concert and just sing, dance, whatever, and like get into my zone. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't have the time to just sit in silence, and it doesn't always require silence. Meditation is really you just doing the thing to get yourself centered and back into alignment and feeling good. So whatever that feel good is, do that. I think sometimes people get caught up and they get intimidated by the word meditation because they think it's supposed to be structured, when in reality it doesn't. You know, like not manifestation, but meditation in itself comes in so many different forms that feels good to you. So I think, you know, we need to break the idea that you have to be in this quiet room, laying down or sitting up and like, you know, this certain position. And the only way you're going to really meditate is if your mind is clear. I'll tell you, I've been meditating for years and I haven't gotten to the state where I don't think about anything. Some thoughts still creeps into my mind. I'm just learning to allow it to come in and come right back out. You know, it's allowing the thoughts to flow, but that comes with time, and it comes with it comes with intentionality and not putting pressure on yourself. Because sometimes you put pressure, it's like this isn't working, but it is. You're sitting, you're breathing, you're taking a moment to yourself. That is important.
People think it's just the point of just to like not think.
Yeah. No.
You tell somebody not to think, you're going to think.
You're going to think because you're going to be thinking, oh, shoot, I'm thinking.
But really, I've done a lot of research on meditation. Really, the sole point of it is, well, it's different. It's so many techniques. But it's not to quiet the mind. It's to observe the mind.
Yes.
Become the observer, an objective observer. Because I feel like a lot of times stuff be on our mind, we try to like block it out. But meditation gives you an opportunity to really examine those thoughts. Because it's been times for me where, okay, I really just sat down and just, okay, thoughts come up. I really just look at them and it'll reveal things.
Yes.
You get certain insights.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes.
You know?
So you're getting deep again. You're getting deep. And I'm with you. Like, I think that the concept that you're speaking of, especially for your audience, right, is the idea of we are not our thoughts. We're observers of our thoughts. And we have to understand the present of your mind, body, soul, ego. You know, when we start thinking about the different levels of ourselves, soul, spirit, all those things, right? Like, just understanding the layers to us. And so meditation, I feel like, allows you to really center in and to acknowledge those layers and allow the flow, right? Because it's supposed to be synergies within all of that. So your mind, you allow your mind to wander and allow the thoughts to come. You allow your body to be in a state of peace and acceptance and openness to that. And you allow your spirit to guide your mind into the thoughts that come and the wavelength that you're on, because that's going to dictate the thoughts. So there's alignment there, right? When your spirit is feeling like, oh yeah, we're on a good wavelength, we're on positive, your thoughts are going to be positive. And then on that same wavelength, you're at peace.